Hi, I'm Pastor Larry Brown, and it's a beautiful summer day, near summer day, I should say. We're actually in late spring, but just so beautiful and summer-like here, and a great time to think about our summer reading program through Powell United Methodist Church. So I'm glad to have this brief time just to share some about the selections that I placed on the list this year. Very different from what I've done before. In fact, as you look at the list, you'll see that I selected secular things, items this year, as opposed to religious ones. Not that religious books and films and other religious media is not excellent to be connected to. It is. But I find that often in the summer, when my schedule shifts a little bit, that sometimes I am able to, enjoy things that are more from the secular side. And actually, I've over the years found that there's quite a bit that is both spiritual and faith connected in a lot of the art and created works that are not classified religiously, but it's there. So I kind of thought that way about the things that I put on the list today. You'll see I've lifted up a couple of movies from last year, 2019, ones that kind of stuck with me and made an impact. One is the movie 1917. Now, let me say before I go on that these are all on the adult list for a reason. So that's an adult film, and the fact that there's violence and language and things like that. But it's based on a somewhat true story from World War I, and it's about the reality of war and just very creatively done in the sense that it gives us a good picture, I think, of what all of that was like. And of course, there's a story that brings deep drama to what's happening regarding a particular person. And I don't want to give too much away, but just to say it's a compelling story and a very well done film. So I've listed that. I've also put there Aeronauts, and that was a much different story, also somewhat based upon a true story back in the middle 1800s of a balloonist in England who explored the atmosphere to such heights that the result of that actually gave us a lot of the modern day techniques and science that we use for predicting weather. But it's a harrowing tale of a balloon that goes up and up and up, and some terrible things happen. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but beautifully filmed and again, a compelling story. So I know I enjoyed that movie. Then you'll see a list of books, a series of books actually, about one of my favorite non-religious authors, and has been for decades, Dean Koontz. Writes in the thriller category, but not a lot of gore and scary monsters and things like that. But just excellent, I've always thought, at developing his characters and lifting up the relationship among those characters. And that's true in this 5-book series about a heroine named Jane Hawk. And she's an FBI agent and basically saves the world. And again, not wanting to give anything away or provide any spoilers, I've always enjoyed Dean Koontz, and this series particularly I found quite enjoyable. And then lastly, you'll see a podcast that I turn to often called This American Life. It's actually also a weekly radio show on public radio, I believe, or National Public Radio. And I listen to this podcast regularly. It lifts up all kinds of aspects of our life and relationship, including faith, but all other aspects, both political, economic, health, psychology, just all kinds of layers of our human experience. And it's so well produced and so well written that I always learn something. It's not the kind of thing where you may not always agree with the point of view, but they tell wonderful stories that are engaging and I think have a lot to offer. So I've always enjoyed that podcast. So that's my list for this year. It's different, as I say, but that was intentionally so. And pray that you might enjoy some of that and just enjoy participating in our whole program. And we thank you for that. For now, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.